associate head job up there at Arkansas Little Rock. He's an incredible recruiter, and he assembled an incredible basketball team. They won 30 games, and they were really good. Purdue, once again, Purdue, the namesake, Arkansas Little Rock is not as well known as Purdue, and Purdue was up 13, but I thought Arkansas Little Rock would give them problems because he told me the game plan before they played, and he said, look, we're not even going to guard their guards because they have difficulty shooting the basketball. I don't care who you have. It's only one way in basketball to score. You know, in football, you can return an interception, block a punt, kick a field goal, get a safety, throw a touchdown, run a touchdown. You can do it's a multitude of ways in football. In basketball, it's only one way to score. You got to put that ball in that hole. So anyone that struggles shooting the basketball, that's a tough nightmare, and that's what Purdue is really talented, but they struggled to shoot the basketball, and it came back and it bit them. You know, so it's the culture of March Madness, man. It's why we all watch it. It's why we all thrive to be a part of it. You know, it's an incredible, electric atmosphere, man, because anyone can defeat anyone on any given night.
I mean, the highs and the lows. Northern Iowa, half-court shot at the buzzer to win it, and then the next game, they give up a 10-point lead with 40 seconds. What was it, like 40 seconds?
That was sick. You know,
come on, Coach.
I tell people all the time, man. Like I would be sick off that. I couldn't even, man, because I'm the one losing the world. I will admit that. But that would be tough for me, man. What you learn is the same thing that makes you laugh will make you cry.
Yeah, the worst times are the best times.
Yes, absolutely.
We're on the line with head coach Levelle Moton of the North Carolina Central Eagles. He's an author, ladies and gentlemen. Had a book come out called The Worst Times Are the Best Times. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's autobiography or anything like that. Explain to the listeners what your book is about, Coach, and where they can find it.
Man, I wanted to write a book to empower and kind of inspire other people who come from similar circumstances and, you know, could apply those lessons in their daily walk of life. And I didn't want to, as being a basketball coach, I didn't want to write a book about basketball. I think that was corny. You know, I just wanted to be able to touch people. And, you know, I was reluctant to do so, but I just decided that if I write a book from my heart, it would touch someone else's heart. Because every time I speak to a corporate organization or a company, whatever it may be, someone always say, look, you need to write a book. So my demographic was kids, and I wanted to just compile a series of short stories to let them know that there are going to be obstacles that's presented to you, and here are mine. And none of those chapters am I perfect. Matter of fact, all of those chapters are about my imperfections. But there was a silver lining, not the cloud, at the end of each chapter. And those mistakes, you're going to make them, but you got to learn from them. And matter of fact, use me as the person that made the mistake so you don't have to go through it. And at the end of the book, I couldn't come up with the title. It was the most difficult thing. I thought it had to be some catchy catchphrase or, you know, some title that everyone has heard before or a nice cliche, and I was just struggling. And then I just said, listen, at the end of this book, like, the worst times are the best times. Like, every chapter appeared to be the worst time in my life when I was actually going through it, but it ended up being one of the best things that ever happened to me because of the valuable lessons that I learned from it.
And Coach, with you being, again, born originally in Boston, Massachusetts, and then being raised in Raleigh, North Carolina, you being in Durham, North Carolina, talk a little bit about what Durham means to you, because aside from Duke University, who, as we know, being from the area and you being in the area for quite some time now, Duke is kind of off in its own little world. North Carolina Central, ladies and gentlemen, is right in the heart of Durham. If you go down the hill, you'll go through one of the roughest parts of Durham, McDougal Terrace. Talk about just how the city has embraced you and what Durham means to you.
Man, Durham is like my second home, man. You know, I'm just thankful a city accepted me when I was 17 years old. That's when I first set foot through the doors of North Carolina Central. And they came out, they supported me, they cheered me on, they were an advocate for me. And even when I left, they always showed me love. And now that I came back as a head coach, they understand, you know, the beautiful thing about Durham is that I never had to conform or try to show anyone who I actually am. You know, no one can assassinate my character. I'm not perfect by any means, but these people in this city have known me since I was 17, so I'm not the new guy in town trying to, you know, seduce you into thinking I'm someone that I'm not. You know, I am who I am, and they understand that about me. When I was a player, I did the same thing I'm doing now as a coach. I gave my all on that basketball floor. I tried to represent myself, my family, and this university the best possible way that I knew how, and I was always actively engaged in the community to help people that were in unfortunate circumstances. And that's what I tried to do since I was 17. And to know that they have accepted me, and to know that when I go to grocery stores or whatever, they want to take a picture or come up and just get a hug or just whatever it may be, it's the best feeling in the world, man, because it feels as if it's unconditional. And my wife love it here. They have accepted my wife and my kids, and we just absolutely love the city, man. So Durham has been my second home, and it's like home now. So I don't even want to say my second home anymore. It's become home, and we love it.
I'm so happy that Dr. Ingrid Wicker-McCree gave you an extension, man. Like, don't go anywhere, Coach. I know you're gonna get a job eventually somewhere else, man. I'm not naive to know. I mean, you're a terrific coach, man. But keep paying them, Central. Keep paying that man. Keep paying him.
Oh man, I love my university, man. Y'all don't get caught up in the rumor mill, man. I love my university, man.
Shout out to the homie Kyle Serba, too, man. Kyle is good, man, over there in the athletic department over at Central, man. Kyle's a good guy. Always gets me into the North Carolina Central basketball and football game, so had to shout him out while I was on the air.
Coach, on behalf of Daimeon, I just want to say it's an absolute honor and a privilege to have you on board with us today. We really appreciate you stopping by and gracing us with your presence today.
Man, thank you guys for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap it up on the All Things Sport podcast with Daimeon Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio.
Join us every Friday for the All Things Sport podcast with Daimeon Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio.
Pierre Banks here, thanking you all for listening to the All Things Sport podcast. Please subscribe for much more of the show. Also, join myself and Rudy Mondragon for In My Humble, The Split Decision, where we discuss all things boxing and what is just our humble opinion on the In My Humble YouTube channel. And we are back with the All Things Sport podcast. He's Daimeon Banks. I'm Pierre Banks. And we are truly blessed and fortunate to have had head coach for the North Carolina Central Eagles men's basketball team, Levelle Moton. Really a treat to have him on the show today, Daimeon.
Pierre, again, shout out, thank you, all that good stuff. Whatever you want to say, all the superlatives to Levelle Moton, man. He didn't have to do that. He stayed with us for an entire hour, man. That guy is an inspiration. His story is phenomenal. Again, he's an author. He's a coach. Go to LevelleMoton.com. Check him out. Check out his story. Also, go to BanksBoy.com. Check us out. Check out our story. Shameless plug, man. Again, this is the All Things Sport podcast where two brothers from the same mother had a dream, woke up, and made it a reality.
And thus, you have the All Things Sport podcast. Daimeon, as always, man, it's been one heck of a show.
Yes, sir.
Thanks again, one last time, to head coach Levelle Moton for gracing us with his presence. I'm Pierre Banks, and for Daimeon Banks, we'll holla at you.
We go!